here. And she shows a good length of legs, a fine body structure. Charisma, and you see these long strides when she comes to a trot. Very fine filly. Thank you. And one day when Khaled bin Shoker toured Europe, he also passed by our dear friend Michael Ponat, Ponat Arabian stud in the southeast of Germany. Michael Ponat has some very fine horses descending from the Saglawi Jedran strain, mainly Monier Telefus. In the meantime, also he added some more representatives from Dachman, Shawan and other strains, but in the beginning he focused mainly on horses from the Monier Telefus family. He bred a gorgeous Al-Adid daughter out of Mufisa Al-Kidir, and she is, Mufisa Al-Kidir is by Al-Kidir out of Mufisa Halima. And here she is, Noura Halima, born 2007. See how she can move. Movement is so much important for Khaled bin Shoker, and for this he is known worldwide. We have some judges here. We are not here for the first time. They said when we come to Khaled bin Shoker, we see horses. They never stop trotting. We would love to see them even in Paris, and we are sure they will do great. This Noura Halima is about to establish her own family here at Al Safinat stud. Michael Ponat sometimes visits Kuwait, and on one hand he regrets having sold her. On the other hand, he is very happy that this mare found a lovely place at Al Safinat stud and is very well taken care of here in these facilities. And you will see her daughter in a bit. And this will be Muna Safinat, who is by Farhoud Al-Shakab. So you have a very close breeding to Al-Adid Al-Shakab, as the mare you just left is by Al-Adid. And Farhoud was used on her. And here she is with us. Muna Safinat, born 2013. Continuing the legacy of Mufisa Halima. And finally, Monier Telefus. Although some people may say this is way too close in breeding, of course you can do this only with very wise and careful selection. It seems it had really worked. This fine filly, or young mare, 2013, so she's now 7 years of age, has a beautiful type, solid body structure, very wide in her chest, good forearm. Will continue the legacy of her nice dam and brings a bit of different blood to Kuwait Arabian horse breeding. Thank you. The next to come, ladies and gentlemen, this is then already the granddaughter of Noura, of the chestnut mare you have seen earlier, and daughter of Muna al-Safinat. The sire is Firas al-Safinat. This filly was also entered to our show, to our Breeders' Cup. She did very well. On her way back home, unfortunately, during transportation, she injured herself a bit. On the way to, yeah, sorry. So I got wrong, I'm sorry. She was injured on her way down to the show. And then it was decided to keep her here in the stables. That's why she was not shown, but she was supposed to be shown. And one can easily understand why. She could have done really very well and impresses because of her lovely type and her charming attitude. A very noble filly. Fine and delicate. Thank you. Thank you. This was Maha al-Safinat by Firas al-Safinat out of Muna. Muna out of Noura by Farhoud, and Noura Halima by Aladid. This all reads like the who is who of international straight Egyptian breed. And we continue our program, ladies and gentlemen, with representatives of the family of Ansata Exotica. Ansata Exotica was by Jamil. He needs no introduction. He was by Matkur 1. Matkur 1 bred at the main estate stud Marbach in Germany, out of the legendary Hanan. The dam of Exotica was Ansata Ghazala by Ansata Ibn Sudan and Ansata Rosetta. So she represents the Dahman Shawan strain, going back to the legendary Ansata Bint Bukra. This year, during our stud visit, we are honoring the legacy of Bint Bukra and respectively Ansata Bint Bukra. We showed you some fine representatives of this family during our presentation in Beit Al Arab and Al Arab Stud. And we continue doing so now here at Al Safinat Farm. You saw also some at the previous destination in Al Danat Stud, and continue showing the legacy of Ansata Bint Bukra. Exotica was able to found her own dynasty here in these facilities, became very important for Al Safinat Stud breeding program. In the arena you have Kamal Safinat. She is by Ansata Hijazi out of Exotica. Toli, a very charismatic mare. and represents in an ideal way the characteristics and features Khaled Ben Shoka is looking for. You see this elegance, this refinedness, the attitude, the charisma, the length of leg, the ground covering movement. And she loves to be adored. She's truly a queen here in the stable. Became very influential for Al Safinat stud breeding program, and horses from this family are cherished by straight Egyptian Arabian horse lovers throughout the world. It is just amazing to see her, how she is parading here in the arena. Truly a queen of the breed. Thank you very much. I guess this applause you can do better. And the next to come is her daughter. Her name is Ala Al Safinat. She is by Firas Al Safinat and the mare you have just seen, Kama. She's in foal to Khaldun Al Safinat, who is a son of Ansat Al Nile Echo out of RN Rayana. So the stallion is representing the Dahman Shawan strain. Again, Ansata bint Bukra. So it's doubling on Ansata bint Bukra. And she's truly a very fine representative of this noble family. She's just in the beginning of her career. So she's in foal for the first time, and one can only keep fingers crossed, hoping for a beautiful filly. Looking at her, you definitely can see the influence from both sides. You see the influence from Firas Al Safinat, who will be later on shown in the stallion parade. He gave his print, especially on the top line, made the back a little bit shorter. You see this ground covering movement. Same like her mama, the charm, the exotic expression. Clearly, mama is there. Beautiful. Thank you. Take your seats again, ladies and gentlemen, and we will continue with some more superstars of Al Safinat Studs breeding program. After showing some nice representatives of the Hadban and Zahi, the Saglawi and the Obayan strain, We had some lovely representatives of Ansata's Exotica family, and now we head on with Alikat's family. Some years back we celebrated Alikat's 25th birthday. This mare really did an amazing job for Al Safinat stud. She became a foundation mare and a legend. Alikat was by Rumina Ja'ali out of Katura, representing the Dahman Shawan strain, going back to Nefisa. We are now with number 9 in your program on the first page. And with us is Misk Al Safinat, born 2014. She's by Rayan Al Safinat, the son of Adnan out of RN Rayana. Rayana was a full sister to Ansata Selman, to Faris Al Rayan. Rayana Al Safinat was on lease for 2 breeding seasons to Mr. Kesseböhmer, Al Muntaha stud in Germany, returned back to Kuwait, had left behind some nice offspring in Germany, and of course here in Kuwait. And one of his finest daughters now in front of you, Misk Al Safinat. Rayan Al Safinat and Ajiba Al Safinat, who is Ansata Imhotep and Alikat. She's truly representing in a very fine way this tremendous, important family. There's not so many from the Nafisa family in Kuwait and all over the Gulf. You find 1 or 2 at Mohammed Marzouk's Ajmal Arabian stud and here and there. But the largest family you find here in Al Safinat stud, from Alikat going back to Nefisa. The next to come is Al-Anka Al Safinat, daughter of Wahaj Al Rayan. He was a son of Alidar out of Ansata Majesta. At her time, she was named the most winningest mare of Qatar. She won the national as well as international shows in Qatar uncountable times. Totally a queen of the breed. Was truly very influential at Al Rayyan farm. Khalid bin Shoka was fortunate to be able to buy Wahaj. He fell in love with him as he had all the characteristics and features he was looking for. He had this length of leg like Majesta, who was a tall mare. He had the exotic expression, but also the athletic conformation. And all these features he passed on to his produce. Al-Anka Al Safinat is truly a very fine representative of both her great sire as well as Nefisa Al Safinat, one of the nicest mares I personally have ever seen. I truly love this mare. She later made her move from here to Qatar to Al Wab stud, and was again a queen in the stables over there as well. There's, I believe, 2 daughters out of her still at Al Wab stud, so her legacy will continue also at Al Wab. Al-Anka herself, truly a precious broodmare, did so far an amazing job for Al Safinat Stud's breeding program. Definitely a special mare. Look at her charisma. See how she loves to present herself. Khalid bin Shoka is blessed to have her here in the stables. And I heard every night before he himself goes to bed, he walks around the stable and he has some extra carrots for her. Gives her a pat, says goodnight. And here comes Al-Anka's daughter, Nujud, by Faras Al Safinat out of Al-Anka. Firas by Sinan Al Rayyan out of Agayib. A second very important mare here in the stables. And what a beautiful combination of these foundation mares for Al Safinat. Another fine representative of the characteristics Khalib's work is looking for. This ground covering movement. You will not find one single horse here in the stables which cannot move. All these horses make themselves big. They start the engine. There's a lot of power coming from behind. They are setting their hind legs wide under the body and off they go. Beautifully upright in the front, looking around and expecting people to adore them. And so does Nujud. And she's just only getting 3 years of age this year. Already very, very refined, delicate and noble. Just a beauty. Thank you. And the next to be with us is number 12 in your leaflets. This is Fadwa Al Safinat, daughter of Hilal Al Safinat. You saw already some very nice produce of Hilal. Another highlight in the stallion barn. You will see him later. And Fadwa's daughter is Najla Al Safinat by Wahaj and Nafisa. Khalid decided to show her, to give also other people the chance to fall in love with her. She did great. Ended up second with extremely high marks, way over 90. Judges got thrilled seeing her. The handler had difficulties to run with her. After the second long side, he was almost about. We had to transmit him to our oxygen tent. Thanks God he survived. She was scored extremely high in type as well as in movement. Judges loved her body structure. Leg marks were high. She has everything. Thank you very much. We are now with number 13 on the bottom of your first page. And entering the arena, we'll have Noura Al Safinat, again by Wahaj. For many years, the chief sire here in the farm. Became a very influential sire. And she's out of Nafisa Al Safinat. So Nafisa Al Safinat definitely left her print here in the farm before she made her move to Al Wab Stud. Still 2 daughters, and they produce and carry on the legacy of Nafisa Al Safinat. Look at this gorgeous mare. I'm sure we all would love to have her in our stables. Truly a queen of the breed. Fine broodmare carrying on the legacy of Nafisa Al Safinat here at Al Safinat Stud. Thank you. Now just flip the page and we continue on in your leaflet on page number 2 and have number 14. In the arena with us, it's Fada Al Safinat by Firas out of Noura Al Safinat, Wahaj and Nafisa. So it's a daughter of the one you saw just before. Easily to recognize that she has the same characteristics and features like her mother. The overall body structure is copy-paste. Shows the strong genetic potential of this family. And the importance of Nafisa for the breeding program of Khaled and Shoka. Still young and in the beginning of her career. A fine addition to the breeding barn. She's looking into a bright future. The next with us is Hilala Al Safinat. She's a daughter of Adnan out of Alikat. Alikat by Rumina Ja'ali and Katura. A very important foundation mare. Hilala born 2002, so soon in 2 years she will celebrate her 20th birthday. And although no longer a youngster, see how she moves. She truly loves to present herself with ground covering movements, which is again brought forward in a very light and elegant way. Beautiful cadence, rhythm, long strides. Already a grandmother and still loves to show off. She knows she is special. And is happy to be adored by our dear friends from all around the world. whether it is from Namibia or South Africa, Europe or the United States, Near and Middle East, they all come to see her. Thank you. Hilala Safinat. For some reason, it's mainly the Europeans who are clapping. Our dear friends from the Gulf, they are a little bit shy, maybe. You should, a little bit of action when you see these beautiful horses in front of you. The next to come is number 16. We are now with Hal, born 2016, daughter of Firas, out of the mare you have just seen. She will just parade around. She is in foal to Khaldoun Al Safinat, the son of Ansat Al Echo out of RN Rayana. Don't push her too much. Thank you. Not too much, not too much. She stepped wrong and therefore we don't want to ask her too much. But you see her beauty, her gracefulness. A very fine and noble youngster of the Broodmare band of Caleb and Shoker. First time in foal. Thank you. Number 17 is entering the arena, and this is Luluat Al Safinat by Ansata Hijazi out of Alicat. As already mentioned before in our previous visit to Al Danastad, I mentioned that Ansata Hijazi truly had a huge impact to Kuwait Arabian horse breeding first and foremost, but you can say worldwide. He was truly a legend, and Kuwait Arabian horse breeding would not have reached the high standard of quality as we can see now without him. But he influenced straight Egyptian Arabian horse breeding worldwide. But we were blessed to have him here for so many years. And all the farms here in Kuwait benefited from this amazing stallion and producer. And this youngster is a filly by Nizar Safinat. If you move one page more forward, then you see the information about Nizar. He's by Firas, out of Noura Halima, the chestnut mare you saw in the beginning of this presentation. So he is from the Saglawi strain. And it seems this combination really worked well. just only a few weeks old. And see how she shows. Dancing in the arena. Mabruk, the next generation is born. Number 18 in your leaflet is with you. This is Latifa Safinat, daughter of Firas, whom you will see later in the stallion presentation, and Luluat, the mare you saw before, having her nice filly at side. And once again, a fine representative of all these special characteristics Khaled Ben Shoka is looking for. Ground covering movement, solid conformation, exotic type, showy attitude. See these long strides. Amazing croup, which enables her to use her hind legs, bringing them wide forward. She has a well laid back shoulder. Means she is able to transform the energy which is coming from behind into ground covering movements, far reaching forearms. Wonderful. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is another special moment here in this place. Last year we celebrated her 25th birthday. Now she is 26 years of age. Still in great shape. A queen of the breed. Queen here in the stables is R.N. Rayana, daughter of Prince Farmuniet out of Ansata Sharifa, full sister to Ansata Selman, to Faris Al Rayyan, and many more, who are representing in a fine way this gorgeous family. She truly had an amazing influence here on the farm, and you will see later a lot of her produce. She's truly a living legend. Dahman Shawan from the famous Ansata bin Bukra family. We are celebrating her legacy. Ansata bin Bukra. And here, one tracing back to this famous family. Thank you. And now you will see 9 of her produce. She created her own dynasty here at Al Safinat Stud. An amazing influence and so valuable for the breeding program of Khaled bin Shoka. First to be shown is Roa Al Safinat by Sinan Al Rayyan out of Rana Al Safinat. So she is already the granddaughter of R.N. Rayyan. And truly, she, in a very fine way, represents this family. Rayana's mother, Ansata Sharifa, got her own chapter in the book of Judy Forbes about Ansata bin Bukra. As this mare once, when there was photo shooting with Gigi Grasso, decided that she loves to swim. The photo shooting was just at the beach, and she went into the water and deeper and deeper and deeper, and she started swimming. And finally, all the team even couldn't see her anymore. A helicopter was ordered. Finally, they discovered where she is, got a boat, and escorted her back. A very nice chapter about Sharifa, the grand-granddam of Rawa Al Safinat. And look at her, how she moves. A lot of presence, stamina. Showy attitude. She knows that she is a true beauty. Thank you. And she would continue doing so when you come back tomorrow morning. She is still trotting here. The next to come is a daughter of R.N. Rayyan. Her name is Rima Al Safinat, born in 2004. Here she is, heavily pregnant. She's in foal to Firas Al Safinat, the gold champion. And best male at our international show, Kuwait, I forgot which year. I think Firas was just only 2 years of age. So she's highly in fall, and that's why we are not asking her to run Liberty. But see this great personality. Thank you for showing her. I guess everybody wants to have such a horse in his stable. And the next with us is her daughter, Reham Al Safinat, born 2009 by Wahaj. Wahaj, the son of Ali Dar, out of Ansata Majesta. Wahaj, in his look and appearance was very much stamped by Alidar. He was a tall stallion, tremendous leggy, a very upright neck. Did very well under saddle, was also performing in long distance ride. And Reham is truly a fine representative of this excellent combination between Wahaj and Rima. Rima, the daughter of Adnan. Most of you know and remember Adnan, bred by Dr. Nagel. He was truly a globetrotter. From Dr. Nagel's place, he first went to Morocco. He then returned back to Germany, then made his move to Kuwait. He didn't produce many foals here in Kuwait, but almost all of them became influential in the farms in which they were born. The Arabian Horse Center also used him, and we are very fortunate to have 3 daughters by him. He produced a lot of sons at Mohammed Marzouk's place, the owner of Adnan, and he produced the fillies in the Arabian Horse Center. The next to come is the full sister to Reham. Her name is Rabia Safinat. She was shown at our Breeders' Cup Straight Egyptians Kuwait 2020. Was scored extremely high. She was way over 93 points, showing the very high level of quality of the horses in this class being shown. Judges loved her because of her type and expression. She presented herself with an amazing ground covering movement. The arena was almost too small. And she does the same now also here. It's a very light movement. See how nicely upright she is. Snorting and blowing and happy to be adored by you. In our previous show, we saw, especially in the mare classes, with our top horses, marks which even went up to more than 94 points, and this truly reflects the high quality of the horses which have been shown. And it seems that the judges were happy with what they saw. Thank you. The next to come is one of the youngsters. Her name is Raya Safinat. Born 2018, late 2018, by Firas out of Ruba Safinat. And Ruba is by Rayan Safinat and Reham Safinat. A charming filly with beautiful expression. Lovely head with gorgeous eyes. Carrying on the legacy of the Rayana family. Thank you. Now with you, Rawan Al-Safinat, born 2005, daughter of Ansata Hijazi out of RN Rayana. She too has an amazing influence here in the farm, and you will see in a bit her daughter who was presented at our Breeders' Cup show, gained championship titles. This is the mother. Now you know where the quality is coming from. Her daughter became silver champion. Thank you. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the silver senior mare champion of the Breeders' Cup Straight Egyptians Kuwait 2020. When she was shown, the crowd was on their legs. Nobody could sit. They adored her. She got a gorgeous applause from everyone who saw her. She captured the heart of everybody, and when she started trotting, she was truly flying in the arena. Her total score was 94 point, I think 26, I'm not 100% sure. It was the second highest mark of the whole show, only beaten by her stablemate, Firas. So she was the one with 94 points 40, 41, 42, something like this. Amazing score, and she truly deserved. Dear judges who are still here, thank you very much. It looks like you're really experts. Here we are now with her full sister, with Rayana Al Safinat. Same quality, same charisma, same ground covering movement. Stunning. I jumped in the wrong line. This is number 26, Sharifa Al Safinat, the daughter of Rayana, the silver champion mare. So now you know where the quality is coming from. Quality-wise, the daughter is same caliber as the gorgeous mother. What a family. Try to get the right foundation mare, select the right stallions, and you can do miracles. This RN Rayana truly had such an amazing impact. 9 of her produced here in the farm. Where else do you see this? And all of them exquisite in quality. And again, it all goes back to Ansata bin Bukra. And to Bukra from El Zahra, the source where it's all coming from. Thank you. Now one of the youngsters of this amazing family, Rabab is her name, by Firas out of Razan Al Safinat, who is by Wahaj Al Rayyan and Rawan Al Safinat. Rawan Al Safinat number 24. You see the legacy continues. Just in the beginning of her career, whether it is in terms of breeding or in terms of showing. Like other breeders here in Kuwait, also Khalid bin Shoka, he enjoys shows. He loves to present his horses there, but he's not allowing show results to influence his breeding program. He just uses shows to get opinions from other breeders and experts from around the world, adds the information to other news he's getting from like-minded friends, but finally he makes up his own mind, puts all these bits and pieces of information together and makes his breeding decision. But it's never influenced just only by show success. Thank you. Leaving the arena, Rabab Al Safinat. Look at this. I mean, the movement of the previous horses was already extraordinary, but this is completely outstanding. We have with us Ragad Al Safinat. She's by Ansata Nile Echo, known for his tremendous trot. And although it's not even necessary to get it on top of the amazingly trotting mares here in the stables, it tops it even. The daughter is R.N. Rayana. The mother is R.N. Rayana. You saw her in the beginning of this amazing family. Actually, Rayana went for a year or two to Europe. Nile Echo was selected, and this is the result. Her full brother is Khaldoun Al Safinat, who was already used on some selected mares. So both she and Khaldoun came back from Europe. A trip which was really worth it. Please shift to the next page. We are now with number 29. And entering the arena, this is Shalan Al Safinat. Still a youngster, but already very impressive. Born in 2017, he's a son of Firas Al Safinat, our gold champion stallion. His dam, Noura Halima, the star quality Aladi daughter out of Mufisa Al-Kidir. Khalid bin Shoka is giving him his trust and faith. We'll select a fine group of mares for him. Firas Al Safinat proves that he can not only produce beautiful daughters, but also some promising colts. He is one of them. A very fine pedigree. We don't have so many Saglawi stallions going back to Moniat and Nefus here in Kuwait, so it's good to have him. Promising addition to the breeding program. Thank you. He's leaving the arena, and we will have another very promising young colt representing the Obayan Omjiri strain, El Shabah. And going back to Mona Inchas. His name is Morgab. We are now with number 30. The idea of keeping these young stallions of different strains and families is, of course, to make sure that we are not getting too close and running into a dead-end corner. Morgab is the son of Hilal Al Safinat, who is Sinan Al Rayyan and Hilal Al Safinat. And his dam is Agayeb Al Rayyan by Ashal and Ar en Ajiba. He's a very fine colt, truly promising. He will get the time he needs to mature. He will be watched carefully. See how he develops. We'll get a fine collection of mares, and then again judged on his produce. Truly a promising colt with a very fine front. Nicely shaped neck. Good top line. One to watch out. Thank you. Now with us is number 31 in your leaflet, and this is Nizar Al-Safinat by Firas out of Noura Halima, the Aladid daughter. So he's a half-brother through his dam to Shalan Al-Safinat, the boy you saw first in this group of colts and stallions. It's even a full brother, full brother. Nizar was shown. He ended up third in his class, got high marks. We all know that it is very difficult to find good stallions. Everybody is arguing about this, where to find, where to search. At the end, we have to breed the good stallions. To do so, you need a fine group of mares, as Khaled Ben Shoka has here at Al Safinat Stud. You have to be patient. You have to give the boys time to develop. Don't judge them too early. The next to be in the arena is Khaldoun Al Safinat. He already has been given a chance and was chosen to breed some of the fine mares here at Al Safinat Stud. First mares are pregnant to him. Khaldoun is the son of Ansata Nile Echo out of RN Rayana. And a full brother to number 28, Ragad Al Safinat. And like his sister, you also can see the influence of Nile Echo, especially when watching him now, how he's parading around, this crowd-pleasing attitude, this snorting and blowing and the ground-covering movement. This all reminds Nile Echo. Amazing how these grooms are listening to their master. Khaled just only has to do a hand signal and they know exactly what to do. 15 years I have tried to do this with my grooms in the Arabian Horse Center. It never worked. Impressive colt. Next year you all will see the first produce. Thank you. Yeah. And the gate is open for another highlight of this presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, be ready to welcome the gold champion stallion. Breeders' Cup Straight Egyptians Kuwait 2020. It's Firas Al Safinat. He truly rocked the arena. When he entered, he was breathtaking. He conquered the heart of everybody who saw him. He got standing ovations. The judges fell in love with him. And not only they scored him high with way more than 94 points, which is almost impossible to achieve. You rarely see this. They loved him when he just only showed his face at the entrance of the arena. And then when he started trotting, it was a nightmare for the handler. He was near to a heart attack. He was shown in the Stallion Championships against such heroes. So not only for the handlers it was breathtaking, but also the other stallions. He truly showed impressive. He was the hero of the day. Already as a youngster, he showed his quality when he was presented at our international show, at this time organized at the Hunting Equestrian Club. As a young boy, he was already awarded best male of the entire show. So he beat even senior stallions. Now he is a senior. And what an amazing stallion. You saw several of his produce and easily noticed that not only he is a charismatic stallion with high quality, he is also an amazing producer. And he truly deserved to be crowned a gold champion. Bred and owned in Kuwait. Owned by the breeder. It was a special moment for Khaled Ben Shoker and his family and team when Firas Al Safinat was awarded gold champion. Special moments. And these moments gave the breeder and the owner the feeling this is what it is all for. Showing and breeding, find a stallion who is doing both. Firas Al Safinat, the gold champion, and the only I can say last is thank you so much, Khaled Ben Shoker, your family, your team. We had a wonderful afternoon and evening hours. It was impressive to see your gorgeous horses. Thank you for your hospitality and all the best of luck in the future.